I've been thinking, why do we so often do what others tell us to do or what we think we're supposed to do instead of doing what we want to do? Today, we'll explore how to quit living for others and live for yourself with the secondhand advice from the book, You Are a Badass by Sincero. Take a moment to answer these questions. Why are you in your current work? How did you select your college major? Why not invest all your time in your favorite hobbies? You probably responded, the job pays the bills, my parents wanted me to pursue a career in X, and hobbies all the time? That would be self-serving. These answers highlight what's amiss with many of our choices in life. We do what we think we are expected to do. What you desire rarely enters into the equation. Today, we will discuss what the big snooze is and how to leave it, why you should start vibrating at a higher frequency, and about the dangers of viewing only red. What we believe about ourselves comes mostly from the messages with which we've been bombarded since we were young. Unfortunately, most of these beliefs are harmful. These messages are lodged in your subconscious mind. For instance, your parents might have told you that nobody in the family has ever been skilled at making money. The more you hear this message, the more likely it becomes your subconscious, and therefore you will conclude you can't earn money. The negative thoughts that you subconsciously believe about yourself and the world keep you trapped in a sleep. Let's call it the big snooze. The big snooze is like an overprotective mother who never wants you to leave the house. She wants you to stay with her, safe from the lurking dangers out there in the real world. There's nothing wrong with her intentions, but they're entirely based on fear. Fortunately, you're more than capable of freeing yourself from the crippling power of the big snooze. When we're young, we have an intuitive understanding of who we are and how to do things. We play and love without holding back or thinking about what others might think of us. But as we grow older, we stop listening to this inner knowledge and start doing what others tell us to do. Through this, we often end up in less than ideal situations, working jobs and remaining in relationships that make us feel lousy. The first step to getting out of this rut is to start loving yourself. Daily, you should shower yourself with love and affirmations. Create your mantras like, I am beautiful and intelligent. There's nothing I can't do, or the universe is awesome and I am too. You should also stop comparing yourself to others. Just imagine if Marilyn Monroe had compared herself to Kate Moss and concluded she should go on a diet and lose her beautiful figure. Never compare yourself to anyone, period. Once you develop a more loving relationship with yourself, you'll become less afraid of the things you want to do. You'll also be on the way to overcoming another common enemy of happiness, what other people think of you. There is a limitless source of power all around you, and you can tap into it. Do you believe there's a God? Most people, even if they're not religious, still believe in some higher power or energy. It doesn't matter what you call it, God, spirit, intuition, the universe. What's important is that you recognize a limitless force or energy beyond you, which connects us all. For now, let's call it source energy. This energy is everywhere around you, permeating the whole universe and everything in it. However, it doesn't vibrate with the same frequency everywhere. You're vibrating at a specific frequency, and all the things you want are also vibrating at a particular frequency. And those things that vibrate at the same frequency attract one another. This is also known as the law of attraction. Thus, when we're feeling jealous, worried, or pessimistic, we vibrate with a low frequency, thereby attracting more of this negative energy. But here's the good news. By learning how to raise the frequency with which you vibrate, you can attract the things you want in life. Let's consider an example. Look away from your screen for a moment. Check all the items in the room that are colored red, and then quickly look back at your screen. Now, without looking away, try to note down a few things in your room that are colored yellow. Can you remember? What happened? You surveyed your whole room just moments ago, and yet you can't remember anything colored yellow? This is a simple illustration of attracting what we are focused on. When you looked at your room, your focus was on red, and your focus was so strong that your mind ignored anything that's not red, and hence you can't remember anything other than red. When we learn how to expand our view and not focus on the negative, you will notice and attract different things. This is why learning to tap into the boundless source energy is so important. Without it, you won't raise your energy enough to attract what you want. So, from now on, make tapping into it your top priority. If all this sounds complicated, there's a simple and effective way to fill your life with source energy. Meditation. As anyone who has tried it knows, meditation, that is sitting still and letting go of thought, is both straightforward and surprisingly complex simultaneously. Besides calming the body and relieving stress, meditation makes us realize just how cluttered with unimportant thoughts our brains are. Sit down to meditate for only a few minutes, and you'll notice most of those thoughts are about as focused and constructive as two toddlers fighting over a toy. However, by developing a meditation practice, you'll gradually learn to declutter your brain and allow the source energy to flow through you. There are 3 things you can do to value each day a little more. First, change your attitude toward challenging tasks. Rather than approaching problems like an expert, come at them like a complete beginner with a willingness to learn. People with a passion for learning don't feel pressure to prove their abilities, which means they don't grapple with the fear of failure either. For learners, mistakes are no longer frightening, but a welcome part of the educational journey. Second, make an effort to express and experience gratitude daily. Gratitude isn't about giving shallow thanks for the sake of being polite. It's a positive state of being. By being grateful, you keep all the good things in life in the foreground of your thoughts. And by practicing and sharing gratitude, you can help others stay positive too. Finally, you can improve each day by learning to forgive both others and yourself. If someone hurts you or betrays you, the incident will continue troubling you until you ignore them. Forgiveness allows you to move forward in life and is one of the greatest gifts you can give. The same goes for something you might have done in the past that you now regret. So, if you've done your best to make amends, it's time to forgive yourself. By accepting yourself and your mistakes, you'll be better equipped to free yourself from negative thoughts and sleepless nights. Your thoughts are powerful, so make them work for you. In our modern world, we're hyper-focused on action. Thinking things over and examining our thoughts are habits that we don't often practice, but we should. To start, you should figure out what you want and remain open to how you might get there. The next way you can make your thoughts work for you. Think of yourself as the person you want to be. By acting as if the thing you want is already a reality, negative thoughts won't hold you back. In other words, fake it till you make it. If you dream of becoming a skilled speaker, visualize yourself delivering entertaining, eloquent speeches, and you'll soon be presenting more confidently. The more speeches you give, the more your confidence will grow, and the more your public speaking will improve. This is called a virtuous cycle. To further boost your thinking power, spend time imagining your goals as specifically as you can. Next, tackle procrastination, excuses, and hesitation, and nothing will stop you from taking action. Thought is a powerful tool for achieving your goals, but it must be combined with tangible action. When we procrastinate, we let the fear of failure stop us from following through on decisions. If you think you're not qualified to perform a specific task, you'll seek for any reason not to try it. To overcome excuses, you need to convince yourself of your purpose. If your resolve is weak, this may be a sign you need to redefine your goals. Taking action also requires you to overcome hesitation. This isn't easy. Remember that failure is a fact of life and that we all experience rejection. For instance, basketball legend Michael Jordan didn't make his high school basketball team. And renowned movie director Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school 3 times. While rejection is a part of everyone's journey, quitting is something you should never do when pursuing your dreams. Instead, learn from your mistakes and keep pushing until you create the life you've always wanted. Creating a new environment and lifestyle centered around your life purpose is one of the best ways to stay on track. Start and end your day in ways that will help you reconnect with your goals. Explore groups, places, and communities that can provide you with more support as you push forward. Let's review. To be the badass you've always wanted to be, learn to pinpoint the issues in your life holding you back, and then address these blocks by making changes to your lifestyle and your negative belief system. Don't let anyone distract you from doing what you love. Soon enough, you'll find yourself living the life of which you've always dreamed. How have you become a badass? What negative beliefs have you had to overcome? Comment below with your best advice. And please be sure to like and subscribe as well. And thank you for watching. To further boost your thinking power, spend time imagining your goals with as much specificity as you can. A key to becoming a badass is learning how to say no. We tend to make feeble excuses when asked to do something we don't want to do. We have been conditioned to be polite. How about trying out some of these badass ways to say no? Alas, such a task is no match for my incompetency. My schedule is packed with more exciting things. There are worse things I could agree to. I just can't think of any at the moment. Offer declined. There are many cool things to do, and your idea is not one of them.